So I thought I'd start off my speech by telling you that a year of childcare for one child can cost up to a year of tuition at Florida State University. That's just one child. So, with saying that, I did my service at a daycare called Kidstown Academy down in Bryant, and I feel like this is an appropriate topic for all of us because some of us have kids now, and some of us will have kids, and it'll affect you directly or indirectly. Someone in your family is going to have to pay for childcare at some point. So I decided to speak about that today, and I'm credible for my topic because I went and did the service myself, and by submitting this assignment, I acknowledge that my work is completely my own. So today I'll speak about how I went and served at a daycare and what I got from that and how I can improve my communication because of that. So now I'll tell you the story behind my service. This is not a picture I took. This is an old picture of in front of the daycare. So my site is called Kidstown Academy in Bryant, Arkansas, and the director is a family friend of ours named Renee Adams. And she opened this herself. She owns rental properties and whatnot, and was able to open this herself and fulfill her dream of owning a daycare. And so the mission of the organization, according to their Facebook page, because they don't have their own official website, is to serve children and parents, to teach all children skills to grow in an area with other children, and to 3, give children personal attention that's crucial to their growth. And so now I'll tell you the story. So I went, and as soon as I walked in, I was greeted by all the employees and Renee herself, because it's similar to a room like this. You open the door, it's one big room for all the toddlers, and they have their toys. And then there's another room for the babies, and I don't really know the ages for cutoff of who's a baby and who's a toddler, but then there's a break room with restrooms and kitchen and all that. So it was real open, there was no closed door. I mean, it was, everything that's going on, you can hear everything, which can be crazy when all the kids are excited and, just wake up from a nap. So I was given the task because to be an actual worker at a daycare, you have to go through classes, and you have to, you can't just go in and start playing with kids. You have to go through classes, and this particular daycare, they require different certifications to handle kids and per the parent's request. And so I was playing with the toddlers. Of course, me being a male, all the little male kids just loved to hang around and wanted me to play with them, wanted me to, they wanted to show me all their toys and all the cool things that they could do. So I got to do that. I got to watch the babies and, pretty much just tell the workers, hey, this one's crying. Hey, this one, because I couldn't actually get in there and do anything. But so that by me being there, it really helped me to help the children and to tell them about what I do, where I'm about me. They're all astonished by I go to college. They're like, whoa, college, that's cool. Everything I did was cool to them. So that was pretty nice to see, and kind of opened your eyes to what goes behind the doors when you drop your kids off, because some daycares aren't as good as others. And it was refreshing to see that this one was, very open, very nice, and they actually cared for their kids. And I don't think it was just a thing that I was there, they, put on a good behavior and, let's treat the kids good today. I think it was, it's a natural how they treat the kids there at this daycare. So, communication analysis of my story. My first communication concept that I got from this service was connotative meaning, and that, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, is defined as meaning that is personal and meaningful to that person. And this applied to my service learning because when you talk to the kids, you really have to get to, you can't speak above their heads. You have to talk to them. You can't talk to a group of kids. You have to make that applicable to them or they won't listen, you know. So if you're telling them about what you did over the weekend, you have to apply that to them. You have to say, you know, like when you go here, I went there and I did this, and you know, and I wasn't very good at it, but when you listen to all the workers talk to the kids, they really apply it to them and make them listen, you know, they look at them, and they really almost force them to listen because they get their attention. And once you have their attention, it's pretty easy after that. I'm just not very good at it. And so, how this, an example, like I said, would be, you know, speaking to the kids and getting to know them. And, so my second communication concept would be gestures, and that is defined according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, is movements of the body to communicate thoughts, feelings, and or intentions. And so I use this communication concept because gestures mean a lot to a kid. You know, if you seem into what you're talking about, and if you really apply yourself and your gestures, and you look at their gestures, you can tell whether they're interested or not, and whether they care about what you're saying or not. Because you know, some kid turns around and starts picking his nose. He's really not that interested in what you're talking about, but most of them just pick their nose anyway. But this an example would be, like I said, talking to the kids, just watching their gestures and watching how they react to your gestures. You know, if you seem open, they'll usually react pretty good to that. They'll respond very well to that. And so now a communication principle that was relevant to my service is that the communication process is complex. And the definition, according to Department of Applied Communication Survival Guide, is that communication is not it's not an easy process. It never goes easy. There's no easy way to do it. And especially with kids, you know, that really kind of opened me up that they're willing to talk to you, but when the communication's going the other way, you have to really find a way that it's going to stick. Because if you don't, it's really, they're not going to pay attention. And if you try to give them orders, you know, please go do this. Well, if you don't make it to where it's interesting to them, they're just not even gonna, they won't even hear after please. They'll just tone you out. So it takes a lot to talk to a kid and get them to where they befriend you enough to listen to you and apply their listening skills to do what you tell them. Okay, so based on my service experience, I can use communication concepts and civil and ethical implications to improve my communication and help improve my community. And one communication concept I could use to improve my communication would be relational feedback. And this is defined according to the textbook, Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, is feedback that parallels one's experience and our own. And that kind of ties back into storytelling with the kids. If you make a story personal to them, they're more willing to apply that and understand it and listen to it. Because if you tell them something they don't understand, I mean, that's with anybody though. You tell them a story that they don't understand, it's usually not going to stick too well. So, now I chose this concept based on my service experience because that was a big part of teaching kids and getting to know the kids, was making sure that they understood, you know, telling a story that they enjoyed and helping them have a good day, you know, because who wants to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to school. Not even little kids. They hate it. So I can use this concept to improve my communication by being more personal to other people. You know, instead of talking about what I'm comfortable about, trying to make it comfortable to other people and helping them hopefully be more interested in what I'm saying. So a civil or ethical implication I could use to improve my community would be caring with grace, and that is defined according to the Survival Guide as understanding and meeting the needs of people we interact with. And I think I can use this. I chose this based on my service experience because you have to really take an extra step of care to really just not, honestly, with a bunch of kids running around, it's hard not to just stress out and want to pull your hair out because they all run around and they all scream and they're all just going crazy halfway through the day. And, so you take an extra step of care and try to, be more willing, be more giving to not, just throw your hands up in the air and give up. And I feel for the daycare workers, man. They put up with a lot. Crazy kids put up with a lot. So I can use this implication to improve my community by being more caring with others, obviously, being more understanding. And if a daycare worker ever tells you that they had a bad day, trust me, they had a bad day. Those kids can be bad. So now that I've told you my story and all my communication concepts, I just want to tell you that my daycare experience was memorable. It was great. I enjoyed it. And, I just don't know that I could be a daycare worker, to be honest. But when it comes down to it, we have to make a choice. If we want to keep our children at home and care for them personally, or if we want to send them to a daycare, and that, that's a big choice because, like I said, daycare for 1 year for one child can cost as much as a year of tuition at Florida State University, and that's not just something to blow off. That's expensive, and so you have to really weigh your options. And so hopefully this helped y'all. Thank you.